There are new calls tonight for changes to New York State's bail reform law after a St. John Fisher student charged in a pair of cases was released from custody.
13 WHAM Stephen Pappas joins us with the message the Monroe County Sheriff is sending to lawmakers. Stephen.
Good evening, guys. Sheriff Todd Baxter releasing a letter today entitled "The Portrait of a Crime Victim," saying the woman targeted in an attempted kidnapping at St. John Fisher was let down by the criminal justice system. In an unusual letter, Monroe County Sheriff apologizing to the victim of an attempted kidnapping at St. John Fisher University.
This had such potential to be a lot worse, and by the actions of the victim, it wasn't. But that's not always the case.
19-year-old Shalom Mathews is accused of trying to kidnap and sexually abuse an employee at knifepoint in her office last week. Mathews was arraigned, brought to jail, and then posted bail. The next day, he was arrested again, this time by Brighton police in a separate case, charging him with stalking, accused of sending unwanted and sexually explicit messages to two victims.
I'm sitting home comfortably this weekend, and I'm thinking about that lady that defended her own life. I'm thinking about those other stalking victims that tolerated this probably for years, these actions. And they finally see what it could look like at the other end.
In the letter, Sheriff Baxter expressing his frustration over the state's bail reform law.
We still do not have the ability to detain someone just long enough to make sure they're stable, long enough to make sure there's a security plan for the victims, long enough to make sure that he and his family have resources to keep him under control so he doesn't recommit another crime. And that's what we lack. We clearly lack a dangerous standard in New York State, and this is a case of a dangerous standard.
Sheriff Baxter hoping this case on a university campus will push lawmakers to act.
My job is to go out and get them and put them into the criminal justice system. And we should be able to step back at that point and let the rest of the system take over.
We reached out to the Monroe County Public Defender's Office for comment. While they cannot comment on this specific case, they say judges do have discretion when there is a concern about a defendant's mental health. Karen?